да видим какво ни очаква сега. Както знаем, стигнахме до този наш нов стар приятел, като сега ми е много интересно как ще се развият нещата.
Cos'ha ghetto fo bakwa papamu.
He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why.
Bilja antuf kuchai. He var befarbe.
He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up.
Yuba dollo wai.
He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed.
Bilja antuf eatu yao mawa.
There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true.
Toledrea ya mauloa.
The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad.
To why kabobe farhi.
The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past.
Да помня какво и какъв белег.
How Lupa Lupin somehow left you alive after his raid on the old village. He must have had a purpose with that. The question is, what?
Oloi bobo paweg beboko contabe.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have.
Ya you mawa.
It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land. After the old village was destroyed and you disappeared, a struggle between the families erupted, and over time, the disciples turned against each other. Had it not been for the tree of life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree.
В общи линии научихме малко повече за историята на нашия герой. Назад. Връщаме се назад много отдавна. Леле, вижте колко готино изглежда всичко.
Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding.
Добре. Добре. Сега. Интересен развой на събитията. Предполагам, че сме насам. Да не забравяме, че не можем да плуваме. Видяхме в първият епизод как просто рестартирахме последния чекпоинт, до който бяхме стигнали. Обаче играта е изключително красива. Вижте колко готина атмосфера са направили и общо взето как така допринася до някакъв такъв неангажиращ, разпускащ момент.
You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The nono's key energy is just what the pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. Only time will tell. At least his intention is to dedicate his life to it. He has the feeling the fate of the world depends. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy.
Ах, чакайте.
You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the pensai tree. Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of ki over the 12 months to come, so countless, he'd say. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree.
Трябва да свържем наното с дървото. Отправяме се право нагоре и да видим как точно ще се случи цялата тази работа. Реално се спомена, че дървото трябва да се отглежда много време и да се поддържа, за да може да порасне силно и здраво. Уоу!
Now that you've seen from one day, the land won't be as peaceful. You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and he says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did... No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the Lupin camp with her disciples. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the tree of life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. Records tell of the ruinous devastation the Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land. The apocalypse sparked a re-evolution, the second coming, and our lineage. Out of Date says his friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the murkpuff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of...
Това предполагам трябва да е карта.
He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. Noko has tamed the midget. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all...
Тук се получава някакъв глич.
Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the world eaters.
Друг свят. И надеждата на света.
Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb.
Силно се надявам въжето наистина да е здраво. Почти трето ниво сме, между другото, вече. И ето, че успяхме да излезнем. И да, всъщност излизаме навън.
Know that the tree of life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the world eaters.
Предполагам, че това за сега беше само интрото на играта, което минахме до този момент.
A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged.
Какво имаме тук?
Let's see.
Добре. Това е картата ни, която никак не е малка. Тъй, че имаме смело напред и имаме доста неща, които трябва да разгледаме, да пригледаме, да открием. Уоу! Кучето Цербер обаче модерен вариант.
You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The world eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake.
Навсякъде е пълна разруха.
Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive.
Добре.
He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the world eaters to other enclaves. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the tree of life survives the attack.
Добре. Айде да помогнем.
He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
Отново добрата и лошата ни страна се сблъскват. PSI Point.
There's out of date again. He must have missed something important. Out of date says you will make a better stand against the world eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby.
Come, Reaper. Yeah, so what up, Mua?
Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
Cos'ata get?
Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side.
Tolu keta. Ya wawanwe. Koyetu koreboy.
He believes the tribe Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part.
Le ya yato. Yatu yao mawa.
He can sense you share Myriad's view on the world. The Myriad would embrace someone willing to fight against the tyranny of the Jagni.
Kuchai. Hifar befarb. Le ya yato.
Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do.
Tu lua ba volua.
Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters.
Добре. Много интересно. Сега трябва да избираме между Мирияти и Джагни. Реално, наистина обаче, от нещата, които проследихме до сега и нещата, които каза Out of Date, ние по-скоро споделяме вижданията на Мирият. Докато тези Джагни наистина са някакви като налагат някаква страшна тирания и тяхната политика и виждания за живота да наложат баланс в света, като оцелеят само най-силните. Тоест, слабите да отпаднат. Затова мисля да се присъединим към Мириятите. Да.
Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be?
Имаме две точки, между другото, които точки Mutation по-скоро. О, това изглежда доста яко. Блинк. Воу. Айде да качим, примерно, Блинк към този момент. Ясно, добре. Тук имаме ли нещо? Да, добре. Само, че ние реално сме насам. Не сме по моста, а сме насам. Нали така? Защото сме сложили маркер към Мирият, а не към Джагни.
It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded.
Много жалко само, че не можем да плуваме по реката. О, чакай да видим какво става тук. Отново битка. О, това беше много добър доч. Добро комбо се получи. Още има ли? Още един. Айде де. Давай. Отново имаме upgrade point. Ниво 3. Аз все пак отново смятам да кача късмет точката. Точките на по-скоро на късмет. Защото отново подобрява както критикала, така и лут шанса.
That's an improvement.
Това...
This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone.
Точно това щях да кажа, между другото. Че преди цялата тази работа да се случи, тук е изглеждало много готино. Като цяло то сега също и прилича и си изглежда доста приятно, но все пак. Колко имаме? 140 метра още.
That's the myriad tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know.
Тук дали ще можем да минем?
It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Thinks.
Sibi? La fanen aginkan man. Geratna falo hutut mus. Tugai la wute.
The myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the world eaters and saving the tree of life is the only way to make the world a better place.
Lele, Mike.
He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you. He heard you took out-of-date side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your next. And that's something you have in common. He's convinced you've returned for a reason, and is glad you chose. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. There were 6 of them, but the unity fell apart after Lupa Lupin attacked the old village. Soon after, they formed new tribes based on their own values, and when the Blight started, the animosity escalated to war. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good, and if you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite the tribes and defeat the world eaters to save the tree of life.
Присъединяваме се към тях, да. Присъединяваме се.
He was hoping you'd join them. You understand that there's no harm in doing good to others.
Bro, the guy la wute, palam wena denke.
The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the Jagni tribe.
Palam wena denke. Gine afirma gatano shubu budo.
The Jagni tribe may believe that fear and hatred will lead them to domination, a vanquisition of
Bro, plats, get a wach. Hello?
Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war.
Bolo, sakada budo, by the frame.
They might bring them war, but they'll never take away their inner peace. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of.
Добре.
He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen.
Flooded
You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war that bonds as much as it breaks.
mus.
Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin share land again.
Tankand.
They passed the point of no return as their words lost power.
Karamotti.
Seeing
Tankand. Karamotti.
Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor.
Lapu, all the goose are gonna head echt.
He remembers your kind and unselfish.
But what para misa?
Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life,
Gotta want it. But what para misa?
even though it's now a different place from a different time. It is a place that'll make you remember.
Доста голям поток от информация. И дори на момент смятам, че изгубих нишката в разговора, но понеже виждам, че този епизод отново напредва с времето, смятам тук да сложа край. Надявам се да ви е харесало и разбира се, ще се видим отново следващия път. Чао, чао и до нови срещи!